Good morning. My name is William Gardenhire, and accompanying me is Mike Checo. We are both students at LaGuardia College, and we both are in a business course together. We are here today to interview Mr. Fred Towles, who is the CEO of the Towles Group, accompanying firm, and we're doing this as a course requirement. So without further ado, we are going to interview Mr. Fred Towles.
Hello,
Hello,
Fred
how are you?
Towles. I'm Michael Checo.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. Okay. First, I would like to start off at what inspired you to go into the field of accounting?
Well, in high school, my high school had a finance academy, and one of the things that they went over in the finance academy was the area of accounting. I knew I always wanted to be a part of some level of business, and in high school, accounting seemed to draw me, and based on that, that's why I decided to enter this industry.
That's pretty fascinating. What measures did you take to achieve your goals?
Well, the first thing I did is I found a mentor in high school, which was a neighborhood accountant. From there, I applied to school. I went to LaGuardia Community College, which is very interesting, for 2 years. I transferred there and went to the City University of New York, York College. Once leaving there, I also attended the University of Phoenix, where I obtained a master's degree in business as well, with a concentration in accounting. So those are the measures that I took to enter the field. And then also there's work experience. My junior year of college, I did a lot of interviewing with different companies, and it just so happened the last day of my senior year in college, I received a call from J.P. Morgan Chase, and I began to work as in their fund accounting department, which was a very good resume builder. And from there, I moved on to the nonprofit industry. Once we entered the nonprofit industry, I had the for-profit side and the nonprofit side experience. I decided to launch out on my own.
Wow. Where did you find the courage to do all this?
Well, I've owned a business since I was, in some shape or form, since I was 12 years old. So that wasn't something that was new to me. I mean, it wasn't a business of this magnitude, obviously. But I was always one, if there wasn't a job available for me to apply to, then my belief was always to create a job. And by creating a job, therefore creating revenue. So when I was 12 years old, I had some of my friends that worked along with me, and we did maybe a paper route. From there, we had a t-shirt company. From there, I did music management. I managed artists. So I've always dealt with some type of on something entrepreneurial since the age of 12.
That is actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very inspiring too.
Thank you.
Did you establish? How did you establish the company Towles Group?
Well, again, this comes from a belief system. I believe when I started working with J.P. Morgan Chase, and then also dwelling in the nonprofit area, that 9 to 5 was geared towards my employment and my employer, but 5 to 9, 5 p.m. to 9 a.m. that next morning was geared towards me. So every day after J.P. Morgan Chase and working for the nonprofit organization, I would go visit a client. So I was building my client base, even though I was at Morgan and at the time I was at the nonprofit organization. And we came to a point where it was either I serviced these clients correctly during the daytime, or I just drop all the clients all together, and I had to make a decision. And the decision was to go ahead and start the company, and that's what I did.
How did you do that? Did you go to another person like yourself?
Oh, well, because I'm very versed in entity formation, I formed the entity myself, and the accounting experience was already there, and it was just a matter of alerting the client base now that I'm full-time, and I can service you during the daytime, and you no longer have to wait at your business after business hours are done to accommodate me. I can now accommodate you during your business hours. And from there, word of mouth advertising took it from there for the first 2 to 3 years.
That's very interesting. It also leads to the next question. What services do you provide to your customers?
Well, that's the intriguing part. In addition to the general accounting and taxation, I also provide business consulting, entity formation. We also go over very intricate tax strategies on how I can save my clients a lot of money in a very legal manner on their taxes. We've gotten into some very diverse things like self-directed IRAs. We've gotten into coaching business owners and allowing them to run their business and not worry so much about the numbers. Know what's going on, but the focus is to run your business. From there, we've dealt in the nonprofit area. Many accountants don't understand nonprofit accounting, don't understand the rules and regulations behind nonprofit accounting, and we've developed a niche in the nonprofit sector as well, in terms of accounting, in terms of accounting, in terms of being compliant with the federal and state law. In addition to that, we also assist nonprofit organizations in filing and acquiring their tax exemption. And each year we try to add a service, something that is going to help our clients. So we either form an alliance with another company that does it better than we do, or we do it ourselves. But each year we try to add some sort of service to add value to our client.
Sounds very innovative.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, since you've been doing this, have you ever run into any unethical behaviors? People ask you to cook the books, change the numbers?
That happens quite regularly. I'm not sure why, but here's the thing. Because of two things. One, because of the standard that the state has set up in the industry, I choose not to do anything of that nature. And secondly, because of my belief. I believe that if we play things about the book and we play things honestly, it won't come back to bite us later on. Our decisions that we make today can affect us later on. And I think if we make a good decision today and the right decision today, the right choice today, tomorrow we won't have to look over our backs. Tomorrow we won't read about our loved ones, or our loved ones reading about us in the newspaper saying that we've been taken to jail or we've been assessed certain fees and penalties because we tried to do something in a roundabout way a few years before.
Okay.
I think we're at our last question.
Yes. Is there anything that I have not thought to ask that you think I should know?
I would say on that, I think the key to business is personal development. Many of us have ideas and dreams and aspirations about being a business owner, being an entrepreneur, and things of that nature. But because there are so many elements in the world that would allow our dreams to be sucked in, to allow our dreams to be killed, we have to be personally developed. And I suggest just reading 10 pages of a book, a good book, every day. And those 10 pages will begin to reprogram the way we think about ourselves, the way we think about our situation, and the way we think about our business. And that's something I subscribe to. I don't necessarily read the 10 pages because I may not be a reader because of my schedule, but what I do is I purchase audio CDs. I won't give the name of the company because we're not here to advertise them, but I do purchase audio CDs that read the book, actually recite the book to you, and I absorb that on a daily basis, and that has greatly shifted my outlook. It's allowed me to deal with clients that might come in and ask me to do some unethical things. And while many business owners might be stuck in a situation where they almost have to do something like that because they want to generate revenue, I can kindly tell them, I'm not going to do that. You have to find somebody else. And I think the key to that is personal development.
That's wonderful.
What you think, what you should do that's right.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's wonderful. Well, that concludes our interview. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Truly, it has been a pleasure to spend time with you. We appreciate the fact that you took time out of your busy schedule to interview with us. And we want to say, once again, thank you and have a great day.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, people.
Okay. Bye-bye.